Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank the panel for being here. Dr. Mann, I didn't think I heard you say that part of the problem we're facing is the massive buildup of trees in the forest. I think in the years I've been on this committee, we've heard there are literally thousands of trees per acre when there should be something like less than 100. Yeah. And thus the idea should be, shouldn't it, that we would do something to reduce that amount of risk.
Yeah, there's this history, as we all know, a successful history of fire suppression in the West in particular, and that has led to, fires were a natural part of ecosystems in the West, so it's led to a buildup of fuels. Removing those fuels is not so simple. We know that there's cases where we have prescribed burns that have turned into catastrophic fires. So I am not a forest ecologist, but I think that I see all these pictures, right, that you're showing me with these tall trees, and I just see ways in which we can manage the habitat around those rights-of-ways, you know, and keep them from being resistant for tall trees infringing on the rights-of-way.
So if I may, I did have the benefit of visiting Arkansas with the chairman. And I resisted the temptation of talking about how modest size the trees are out here as compared to back on the west where I live.
Yes,
and
you're right.
We have real trees out there, and we also have 30 million acres of them. Correct. Just in my state of Oregon. And so when I hear talking about trees as though it's a garden, I go, no.
Yeah.
So thank you. I want to move to Mr. Anderson. This conversation can be broken into three parts. There's the danger, there's the cause of the danger, and then there's the solution to the danger. So you have some great pictures on the fourth page of your testimony that illustrates the danger totally clearly. These massive, huge trees immediately adjacent to power lines. And when you and I toured your little town of Lapine, which was almost lost to the Darlene 3 fire, we went out and drove along and looked down those corridors, and it was ridiculous how close the trees are to the line. So there's the problem. Tell us the cause of the problem. Why are we facing this? And by the way, going back to the fact we have 30 million acres of trees and hundreds of miles of corridor, what in the world can we do to try to fix it? And by the way, I'm going to run out of time, but I'm trying to get to the fix our forest. But before we go there, define the problem again. You mentioned it 3 or 4 times. Say it again.
So the problem is the permitting. It's getting the process through, identifying the problem that we've already identified, and having the Forest Service give us the authority to actually remove those trees.
And before we leave that point, it was asserted by the ranking member that somehow this might be because of the reduction in the number of people working for the Forest Service. Yet that Darlene fire occurred in 2024, June. And according to the records I've seen, you started to ask for permission almost immediately thereafter to try to remove the dangerous trees that still were along power lines. That was in 2004. There had been no reductions. In fact, I think we had the highest number of people working at the Forest Service in history in 2024. So share with us, were you asking for help before the reductions and you were not getting it?
We have been asking for the help before the reductions.
How many years?
It goes back 30 years. This goes back to the first testimony that was given by Mid-State 30 years ago on the same issues that we're having today.
Let's go to the solution. And you talk about the solution on the top of page 4 of your testimony. You referenced the Fix Our Forest Act. What in it it would help get around this permitting delay?
If we can get the permissions to go ahead and manage our forest, very proactively in cooperation with the federal agencies, and have a permit that allows us to do our job and go make our right-of-ways safe for what is there to protect the infrastructure, we can accomplish great things together with the Forest Service. We believe there's an opportunity to work together.
Right, and this, to me, this is the reason we're having this hearing today, is to call this out again, and also to talk about, as you've tried and done a good job of pointing out the incredible allocation of risk to the ratepayers when we don't get this fixed, because that's exactly what ends up happening in our legal system in Oregon. You, just like you said, are taking this incredible risk, and it's all because you can't get to take these trees, a few of the millions of billions of trees out. I deeply appreciate you making the effort, all of you actually, but you in particular, since you're from my district, for coming out here for today. So thank you so much. Yield back.